Well, is this the next chapter? Hopefully this will not last long. So I gotta go to work. I don't know why I make myself rush like this. What do? Damn you and your segmented scrolling. Oh my god. You're killing me. You're kidding me. So got to. Okay, novel AI. You're sectioning things sucks. Yay! Oh my god, how did that happen? Sorry.
Jestworld Episode 9, The Not Mock State Dinner End. Wyatt's office, Monday day. Wyatt sits in lengthy conversation with Norman Blue, the AI and tie-in rug, about Friday's state dinner. A highly formal function that will be a jester's kick, capital, canoodle, kerfuffle, and everything in between. Wyatt hates formal functions, hates ties, but jesters need to have some form of bling for these state tings. This will also be Tyne's chance to meet the host faculty who, to remind the audience, are actually historical figures of various strides and time-ians. Jesters of yesteryear, constructed by Norman Blue from his vast compilation of records. A Jakashic record, if you will. This will be your change to see teachers other than Mr. Yellow. Although part of you begs the question of why that is. You never knew teachers in high school to demand such fancy. Then again, your community college's only claim to fame was the hot dog cart in the parking lot, so your campus experience has been mostly limited to that. The wardrobe lady will be here soon to hand out coats and the likes made by the tailor. And other things? Norman Blue to Wyatt. Please keep an open mind about state attire. This is important drag. More important than choosing your track pants for a special open mic. The French maid. You need something shorter. The dwarves are not fond of long pants for whatever reason. Roldan's epic battle is a fable that will live on, so cherish the time you have with him, build upon this emotional attachment, and accept that short pants destroy whatever mystery needs to be there in the first place for people to wonder what horse you rode in on. So then, where would you like us to have Roldan sit at? Wyatt, Roldan. Remind me who Roldan is. Norman Blue to Wyatt. Didn't you study those flashcards I gave you? Wyatt. I tried to play memory with them, but there were no matching cards. It was unnerving. I thought there would just be duplicates, but no, all different sets. Just like in middle school, where you turn them all over at once and they were rearranged. How do you play that? Tilda Opfin no testa Wyatt. It's a good thing I wrote the image of the jester on the flashcards in permanent marker. Wyatt using Google Translate on the Cyrillic. From the final, was that you speaking Norman? You think I just can break out Russian randomly? Is this a test or something? Norman to Wyatt, have we really never spoken before this to the point where I have naturally acquired your lazy speech pattern? Wyatt to Norman, I get it. I gotta be way more worldly. I gotta, without pretension, withstand the collective pretensions of many worlds. To think this was my dream when I was a young Star Trek fan. Now I just go, a homework. Next test sprite. It's also multiple choice, so more of a sure deal. Wyatt to John. So Johnny, did you find any meaning in gliding though the picture frame? Wyatt the future Brapian? Yes, because it's important that after all those hours perfecting your savvy strategy that you realize how stupid it was to think this was some sort of weird test. Now, I still love you, John, and forgiveness is divine, but some questions are better left unanswered. Wyatt, Jesse, I'm going to need you to watch the dinner from your dorm. Well, I think we need to have some of our students to heard through loudspeakers rather than seen. Wyatt to Mr. Yellow, tune down your isms just a bit. There are some potentially volatile people coming, and this is our first state dinner. No news is so much better than any news coming out of this event. The more boring and stately, the more relaxed I can be about the whole thing. And then we need to just mingle our way into their mentality. It is a progressive dictatorship after all, and stay in practice for / when the need arises. Why let everyone in the faculty meeting, if we can, try to avoid talking about hot-button issues. Try to sidestep religion. Try to tiptoe around race. As little politics as possible, but for God's sake, no sports. You will be asked to leave the moment someone mentions a team. Rasputin. What about serial killers? Wyatt. Yes! Thank you. Perfect. Totally, by all means. You can't go wrong with serial killers. And steer away from anything too creepy. I don't want anyone calling CPS because horror movie monsters roam the halls. And our passes and preparations are made. Most of the school has to be sanitized. A few secret rooms are good enough for state visitors. Nicknamed the iceboxes, they were once storage areas for meat and other perishables back when food was stored as fresh as possible before being sent out to Terminator elevators and grocery stores for consumption. Wyatt to Norman, can we rename iceboxes? How about we call them green rooms? Every knows what a green room is. Icebox, and people think hockey and getting punished. With green rooms, you might run into celebrities and eccentric spreads of food listed on someone's contract riders. Oh yeah, and the coolest thing. Icebox is acronym for Intelligence Canalization Experiment by Birth Order. How's that for an Orwellian title? Wyatt also plans to ensure green rooms will be more like Spefficid, but rather blue room, as a term to fool the ignorant. Norman approves of added entertainment factor. Wyatt to Norman, do you have any particular vision for the dinner, Norman? Need any assistance to help enact that vision? Wyatt certainly can get any equipment or staff Norman needs. Fair warning, silly questions may be asked, and even sillier answers might be given. This completes their business. Wyatt addresses the rest of the class, and that's that, folks. Most of you have temporary hall access, but you know who you are anyway. If you need anything, remember I'm only a bus call away. See you next week, folks. Wyatt to Norman. Okay, what's your plan to ensure no student so much as looks at the dinner? And how do you intend to explain it to the press that will be and the shit goes down? Norman. Quality meat is a must at all times, so fear not there. Wyatt. Oh, and your behavior suggestion was pretty cool too. Me, Jane, will be thinking up something great here in a week or two. Press releases will probably include something about newly implemented Secret Service safety surprises and strengthened school/storm defense systems. Wyatt to Norman. Nice. We should get the Black Cube Agency attached to this. You heard of them? They're former Mossad agents. They're the ones that spooked away Harvey Weinstein victims with various tinfoil hat tropes, hiring actors to point at them randomly on the street and other creepy spy shit. It's surprisingly effective. Norman to Wyatt. Sounds good. I'll get with Jane about it later. Also a Black Cube associate, though based in London. Wyatt stands up, grinning. All right, Norman. See you later, man. Good luck with whatever that thing is. And tell Jane to tell someone Rushy hi for me. With that, he turns and walks out of the lecture hall. In front of unattended breakfast pit, he rushes toward the Belgian waffle maker eking out some smoke. Who's running this pit? He yells. Though very slow week indeed. There are still a few battles of note that took place between the week of October 2nd, 8th, where majorly different things could have transpired. Surprisingly, it was only 4 Edu and Yuzu that fought each other, although both have been increasingly hostile toward the other twins for whatever reason. Wyatt telepathizes to narrator. I'm sorry? Tell, don't show. There's no visuals anyway, so it should be easier for you. We can always change things midweek if it's not too late in the week. Wyatt to Renabot. See you at lunch. I've got some situation to figure out with Nick. Wyatt to David. I'll be seeing both of you within half an hour. David secretly sticks up his middle finger behind Wyatt's back. Wyatt snuck in a middle finger in front of David's crotch. None of them brought it up for the rest of the day, at least not together at any rate. Wyatt and narrator have an intensive briefing where the narrator gives concise info that Wyatt and the audience should know for this episode. For Edu and uses are 2 hot topics in your world. For Edu stands for education, for equality for us, while Yuzu stands for United School Unions. For Edu is composed of democracies, dictatorships, and anarchies. Democracies value things like equality and human rights, but it's practically a mess with competing interests groups, ideologies clashing, money in politics, and general stagnancy keeping it from doing anything except go to war. Democracies aren't dedicated to equality either. As you see right now, the slums are just as bad as any prison camp. Democracies are also almost as vulnerable to rebellion as a dictatorship is. Democratships tend to push up their issues in things like government bailouts and campaign promises. They do make sure nearly everyone in their society has the right to vote, though. Wyatt Koss! Bullshit! Bullshit. Oh, excuse me, I got some waffle in my lung. What I mean to say is that certain members of incarcerated populations would say otherwise. As well as the mass bandit population, who really started growing in number in 2020, and I haven't the foggiest idea why. Democracies are the best types of government in the sense of personal freedom. But what you probably didn't know, since you were probably too busy focusing on curing the sick, ending World War I and III, and trying not to fall into poisonous oceans, is that reforms in things like class privilege and voting rights have been taking place since the mid-2000s. Mass incarceration started then as well, though for less serious crimes. Is it any better in relation to like 2020? Sorry, I have a urine today. Yes and no. Maybe you decide. Dictatorships oppose both mass incarceration and the school system. Their places run by cruelty and brute force. Most school systems have been destroyed or converted into spy centers for the government. Prison camps are everywhere, with a teacher being assigned there for every 200 students. Prison guards have been told to act less militaristic, which has led to more problems in keeping order over such a dense space of people without proper regulations. Wyatt to narrator. You gotta hand it to spy schools. They know how to produce some damn good experimental theater departments. The school system is sometimes okay if it isn't destroyed or a prison camp, and the same with prisons, depending on the person in charge. People are usually more oppressed in these areas, since their rulers take joy in their job. They don't give as many fucks as someone who doesn't want the job as much, like with other democracies. The nation state is almost dead. Long live the corporal oligarchy? The kleptocracy? What will take its place? Or perhaps what is already in its nascency? Nothing less than the stuff of dreams and nightmares in postmodern literature. Perhaps still just as boring. Maybe. You don't know. The new millennia are bringing one certainty. Uncertainty. The future is on everyone's mind, especially those in power and those wanting it. It is a terrible kind of excitement, with everyone realizing all too well that it could be the end of everything very soon. Wasn't it Buffy Michelle Gellar who said, "The future has become more futuristic than previously thought"? Indeed, things have certainly changed. Nobody could have predicted a millennial computer overlord at this point. What next? And who will it be? Who has the capability? These are the questions on everyone's mind, and maybe if you do know the answers, but most feared to even ask. For fear of damnation should the predicted answer come true. Wyatt, narrator. My money is on the Paul Lindebot because the dude had it rough. He should be happy at least once in his life. Me to Wyatt. Your money is no good in this prediction game unless you've been hiding the fact that you are a huge multimillionaire from me. Wyatt. Man, I wish. I tried to reason with him, a natural possibility thinker and hopeless dreamer whose favorite color is yellow, and tell him it might be a sign of power, yet also a great source of corruption that will ultimately lead to his doom. Wyatt, narrator, is it because it's the chosen color of the faggots and their friends in between revolutions? You think he's joking, though really you know he isn't. Me to Wyatt. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with the cult of Melkar. Wyatt to me. Cream Day ain't nothing but Hollywood video come to life looking like rotten corpse eater too. Wyatt to narrator. Now what about Yuzu? They're the main competition and you're trying to say that even with all their money, they probably can't change the future isn't true? Bucking every stereotype in existence, Eternus student Wyatt, gallant is an optimistic cynic. It's a ponderous kind of irony, his cherubic face twisting into a frown while discussing such a serious subject, which you immediately notice. Wait, why are you smiling? This is serious! Wyatt to me. You just used my dead name. I'm Wyatt Voltron. You need to make sure my last name isn't in the broadcast or else the student loan people will send the hounds. Man, maybe I shouldn't have told you. Me to Wyatt. How much more of your life do you want me to broadcast? I'm not getting involved in that stuff, and who cares if you're past self? Whenever he's born, Clerkseer 39XX has a bunch of debt. Is it like you're gonna pay it back or something? Navin to Wyatt and narrator. Entrance into the shared dimensions of the ended. This is account manager Zeiss Gordon Rella. We have heard the abominable syllables of slackerdom and need you to affirm your endeavors away from hooligan status. Wyatt Gallant from where the freeways meet. State your intentions to continue paying your skull mortgage. You don't really think about why you're recording this. It just flows out of you as easy as breathing. Maybe you need an outlet. Truly, there is no trouble, rhyme, or reason to the ramblings of a pink-filled life. Wyatt to me. Wait, what are you doing? Me to Wyatt. I'm done. Narrating this for you. Wyatt to me. Oh no, computer locked the doors. No one gets in or out. Narrator, you got me into this. You are going to witness a little thing called consequences. Wyatt, please tell me. There must be something you desire. Do you want fame and fortune, world hunger, sea monkeys? Sea monkeys often ask for these three things in unison, like a demonic echo. Me to Wyatt. Come on, man. It's me. You know I'm not the type to twist your arm, man. Wyatt to me. Great. Then sit down so I don't have to sit you down by your balls. Listen up, new blood. Katoshi has no college, not even an academic program affiliated with it. It is for the zany, and you need to either be zany or learn to become so by chapter 4. He has decided to display some early generosity in not assigning a percentage of the 2,352-page book which you must acquire. Did such a life lesson just immerse understanding into the abnormal state of the professor's brain? What kind of nonsense is this? Wyatt to me. This is the nonsense of uttering my dead name in public space. You all had the briefing and orientation about it. Here's record of your attendance. This is your doing. I don't want to bust your balls about this, but now we have a lord of predatory commerce breathing over us right now. He will not leave until appeased. Me to Wyatt. Does a dolphin have lungs? I thought they breathed water. Wyatt to me. This isn't funny. Me to Wyatt. Dude, make the dolphin stop breathing over us. Last message. Wyatt turns round fully to you. Nobody get this guy. He says defeatedly. He turns off the mic and sits down facing the screen. So, Dolphin, huh? You're under a whole lot of delusions, I see. It's not even... Oh crap! He's dedicated to this, isn't he? Okay, look, new plan. I'll humor him. Just enough to hijack this situation how I want it. And not in a second more. Just call me Grand Manipulator Extraordinaire because I got this under control. Eat. Wyatt to me! Yo, that was a speech bubble. And mate, let's see if you can't do it without the script. Me to Wyatt. I would prefer that this disgusting amalgam of meat endorse proper table manner and issue an apology to the white whales. Everyone in the room is silent. Wyatt tugs my by the nostrils across the exposition room, and then downwards so that I'm on my knees, amazed I could narrate this calmly. Wyatt. Oh, Master Zeist, here is a gesture of my intentions. This is a core staff member of our institution. He's yours. I'm tired of him. Do whatever you want. Anything. And I mean anything. What say you, Master Zeist? Anything? He's thinking you can hear the words and calculations in his head. He isn't funny. He cannot be funny. And that's your shtick. Master Zeist chortles briefly. Well, Wyatt, it would seem I have you. And there goes any chance at any benevolent magician dictatorship led by you. And I'm forced to worship the magic dictator fish for all eternity. Turtletove must win! All is lost! No! White narrator, not for eternity, just for the term of my loan. Master Zeist, how many months do I have left of repayment? 3 months? Okay, I can do that. Mr. Narrator, thank you for your time. Swearing? You can't use swearing in a children's book. This is literally the worst thing you could have done, and you used my face to do it. My art is being corrupted. Reader, at least he didn't use any swears I hadn't thought of first. Come on, we need to get out of here. What to all? Yes, you and Master Zeist is going to take you to the liquidity, and you two will have a semester of sensations. I'll freak you out, but I hope you will also be able to sit with a great force in the game world. Have fun trying to kill pure value. And because I get super bored in the next few times of your journey. What to Tom? You will sometimes hack into the computer systems in the high security bank and print out money. This is highly illegal. I highly advise against it if you want to ever see your master and adoptive father again. Why at all? However, before you go back in time, I'm gonna need to check if you've learned anything about derivative management. Lord Keynes? Lord Keynes to Wyatt. Expel Hermes. Let's see. Derivative management is about transferring wealth from one sector of society to another, ideally without them realizing it. Mostly it's the government sector bleeding the productive sector dry. Oh, not all government employees are leeches and sluts, of course. Oh, no. But, well, looks nervously at Wyatt. Wyatt to Lord Keynes. Go on. Don't let me silence you. If you have more to say, and say it all. Lord Keynes to Wyatt. You are really scary, Lloyd. I knew that when I met you in real life. Such a clever financial mind and yet such an emotional dilettante. You must have the constitution of an ox to combine such contradictory traits yet remain sane. Wyatt to Lord Keynes. I am Wyatt Voltron, not Lloyd Voltron. I don't know him. Perhaps you mean Lloyd Blankfiend. Lord Keynes to Wyatt. Oh, my profuse apologies for the mistake of identity. Apologies. Apologies. Lord Keenstall. Anyway, as I was saying, before Lloyd here tried to cast a silencing charm on me, some government employees are just revenue officers doing necessary paperwork. Some are drawing from the productive sector without return. Some are defending the noble class from the proletariat, pushing them to starvation. Lord Keynes to Wyatt. I think you fancy yourself a bit of a Robin Hood, slipping wealth from rich bankers' coffers through socialist taxation and back into the hands of the men on the street. That's nobility right there. Or at least as close as an Englishman running a bank job in Bedfordshire. Wyatt to Lord Keynes. What an enigma you are. Lord Keynes. Keynes to Wyatt. Fancy yourself a bit of a Robin Hood, do you? I knew there was something. Arrest yourself for high treason. Sir, I'm placing you under citizen's arrest for subversion of the crown. Good day, gentlemen. Wyatt. Wyatt, belay that order. Sir, I've never seen more than a rent and a deposit on my purse in my whole life. No, wait. There's that walk from the bursar of my $1,000 refund check that I had to sip from the whole semester. I am no Robin Hood. Size to Wyatt. The liquidity remembers those formative disbursements from your skull mortgage. We felt similar about your walk to the nearest branch of your bank. You were pregnant with possibility. You could have met the financial advisor of your dreams in college, a savvy lad who would have guided your estate over the decades. But that was not to be. Instead, the slow dwindling of your forbearances. This stroll down the crumpled ticker tape was touching, but now we must be off with your collateral in tow. Zeiss grabs the narrator by the scruff and lacerates the air into a portal to liquidity. Narrator! No. Wyatt, you better fix me up some medical leave with HR. If I don't see a pile of 6 paychecks when I get back, you will never be rid of me in your head. I will be your constant surly critic, constantly complain about the clothes you choose, the way you like to not punch your face in. You will question yourself. You will question yourself to death. See ya, Tyen. See ya, Norman. The wound in space heals. A few hundreds floated to the ground to pay for any damages, as per liquidity interdimensional ordinance. Wyatt, I'm gonna go see Lana in Inhar and get a temporary replacement. Narrator, everyone missed the familiar voice permeating the halls with concise context and somewhat truthful digs behind the urge to get the plot forward. You could sense the campus was unsure of what to make of this new voice that doesn't know them at all, and certainly dares not look at anyone while they shower. My name is Zach Figgies, but you'll never need to know that moving forward. From now on, I'll just be commentating. Don't mind me. Just maybe leave a serving of lunch aside for me, 'cause I never know when I'll have free time. Oh well, it's a living. Wyatt to Norman. Okay, I guess this is a two-parter.